Anime for blondes.
You know, Apothecary Diaries, it only has 2 episodes left of this season.
I know. As it turns out, the Apothecary Diaries ends
The
same weekend.
The day after the new season of DanDaDan comes out.
Yeah.
It's almost like fate.
Action!
Hello, I'm Becca.
And I'm Allie.
And welcome to
Anime for Blondes, the girly pop podcast made for girls, gays, theys, and blondes.
The blondes is crucial.
And there was no Apothecary Diaries this week.
No Apothecary Diaries episode, but we have like a little soft launch for you guys today.
We've been working. Just because Apothecary Diaries gets the week off doesn't mean we do.
Scheming, even, you could say.
Yeah, for sure. And so today we're going to be reviewing DanDaDan.
Season 1 of DanDaDan.
The whole season in one episode because we just don't have time.
Well, this is supposed to be for if you are ready for season 2, you're like about to watch, and then you're like, wait, I can't remember every detail of season 1. Like, let me just, I remember it, but like, let me just get a little refresher video.
There's a lot that happened.
You want to discuss it with your friends, like, hey, what were like the big things? We are that for you. So you can watch this. You don't need to go rewatch the whole thing. Although, honestly, you could.
You probably should.
I binged it this week.
It's only 12 episodes.
12
it's
episodes.
Not that hard.
It's so good.
It goes by so fast.
It's so good.
It's so good. So yeah, we're gonna be covering DanDaDan, and I don't know. Did we have a thesis?
A thesis?
Yeah.
We like DanDaDan.
Yeah.
And we are excited.
We were just watching it while eating dinner. Just we had it on, and I was like, this show fucks. I'm sorry. It's so good.
And
it's so good.
I'm sure we'll like get more into like specific things we love about it as we get into it, but this is a really good show. And you know, Apothecary Diaries, it only has 2 episodes left of this season.
I know.
And you know, we have to move on to something, and
funnily enough, as it turns out, the Apothecary Diaries ends the same weekend.
The day after the new episode or the new season of DanDaDan comes out.
Yeah, funnily enough. So it's kind of like,
it's almost like fate.
It's kind of like the universe like lined it up that way for us.
Interesting.
We were like, what do we cover? What do we cover in the next season? I don't know.
Oh, exactly.
What's on our calendar? So, okay. DanDaDan season 1. It's a little controversial on the internet. People have some takes.
It is.
When the Anime Awards was going on, people were voting for like anime for different things. A lot of people said, I don't care what wins as long as it's not DanDaDan.
Wow.
I saw that in our
sentiment.
I know. I saw that in our comments a lot. And I was like, I love DanDaDan.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's a bit controversial because of how sexual it is.
Yeah. And all I have to say about that is, why can't we be freaked out on Maine anymore?
I will. Okay. 2 things can be true at the same time.
No, it definitely can. And like, definitely that first like episode situation, it gets a little extreme. They take it a little far.
Do we do the trigger warning here? No.
I don't know. I mean, I guess there is. If you're watching this and you haven't watched DanDaDan season 1 yet, obviously we're going to be getting into spoilers. Yeah. So click out if you're not ready for that. But I think I wouldn't even consider this like necessary of a trigger warning in this, because I think everybody already knows about it. Because it's like, before I watched DanDaDan, that's really all I knew about it, was people were saying, like, in the same breath. It's almost like, it's like people being like, Game of Thrones is so good, except for that last season. People would be like, DanDaDan's really good. You just have to get past that first episode.
Yeah, that is kind of like that's the disclaimer when you recommend this show.
It was like, this show's really good. It's the first episode's a little weird, but as long as you get past that, it's so good.
Yeah. And so if you haven't, I guess we'll do like a brief non-spoiler.
Yeah.
Not summary, just like, DanDaDan is about a girl who believes in ghosts because her grandma is a medium, and a boy who is antisocial and believes in aliens and like the occult in general.
But he doesn't believe in ghosts.
He does not believe in ghosts. They make a deal to go see if aliens or ghosts are real. And then, long story short, I just don't feel like this is a spoiler because it's the premise of the show.
Yeah, and it's like the first episode.
It's the first episode. They're both real,
Mm-hmm.
and they both end up getting powers from it.
Yes.
And the story is actually, yes, it is a shonen, but it's also kind of a high school love story.
And it's a shonen with a female main character.
She is the main character.
I was shocked by this. I had no idea.
Yeah. They, like, share, it's about both of them, but she is the main character. This is from her perspective.
She is the main character, and she's a boss babe.
She is a boss babe, and she's voiced by my girl Akane from Yamadak.
Yay! Yeah, it's this really fun, it's like a sci-fi...
Yes.
Like, it's like a sci-fi comedy.
And I will say, it is probably... And maybe I just don't watch that many weird things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch that many weird things. This is the weirdest anime that I ever watched and liked and watched the whole way through.
Okay.
I've seen like kind of weirder things that I was like, I don't fuck with this. I'm not going to keep watching it. But this, I was a little put off by it at first. Because believe it or not, the opening freaked me out at first.
The song?
Yeah, the song, it freaked me out. I was like stressed out by it.
Okay.
But by the time I finished the first episode, I was like, this is actually so cool.
It is so weird. It's a fun weird though.
It's a fun,
really
weird.
fun weird, and it really here's what I will say about it that I was trying to describe to Taylor earlier, and I'm wondering if you'll like understand what I mean. To me, it's like it takes all of the best parts of like Japanese anime culture and it combines it with like aspects of like Western culture, like Western storytelling, in my opinion.
Okay.
And it's very interesting to me. And I'm wondering if that's why it was so popular.
Okay. I've not heard this take before. Mm-hmm. So take this, however.
Okay.
I feel like I haven't watched very many Western things lately to like really know what you mean.
Okay.
Because to me, I'm like, this is like an anime, but I agree that it's like it takes a lot of the best parts of kind of every genre of anime that I've, in my opinion.
I feel like there's just a lot of okay, like for example, I feel like how what's her name?
Momo?
Aira. I feel like how Aira acts and her like romantic interest in Okarun is very like Japanese anime. Like that's how it typically is in the anime I've watched.
Okay.
And the way that Momo acts with Okarun and like in general is more reminiscent of how like a main character in like an American show would act.
Okay, interesting.
Do you get what I mean by that?
I kind of get what you mean, but not enough that I feel like I can add anything.
Okay. Maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe you're not crazy. Maybe someone watching gets
it just like I don't know. Like I don't know. It just seemed like a little bit more familiar to me in its storytelling arcs than other anime have been.
Okay.
Like I've started to get to know anime and I've started to like appreciate it for what it is because there just is like the different types of like storytelling. Mm-hmm. And this one felt different from like other anime I've watched for that reason. Okay. And I'm wondering if that's like part of it.
Okay, maybe.
Is that they like kind of took some inspiration from like Western media.
Maybe. I don't know.
But that's kind of what I got from it, just because I just watched it this week and I kind of like was feeling that. Like I feel like the way Momo acts in general is just so different from like other anime main girl characters I've watched.
Okay. I will say I feel kind of more familiar to her. I've seen like her type of character before. Not in that like she's not like a awesome character. And I do believe that out of the shows that you've watched, you've not seen a character like her before.
Like even the boys that like main characters I've watched in anime, I haven't seen one like her. Just being, I don't know, just the way she acts like less like ladylike and I don't know. Also, just them having her be like really the main character of this is so different for me, and I'm loving it. Like, I just love that she is like this like outspoken boss babe character that like she's always coming in to save the day. It is so fun.
And I did say like a year ago that you should cosplay her.
You did?
I did. Okay, so that's like our like non-spoiler thoughts.
There's there's like aspects of like friendship, romance,
and one of the themes is sex and sexuality, and if you're not comfortable with that, then this is not going to be the show for you, because it is a giant aspect of it, so you have to be comfortable with discussions about that type of theme. Yeah, and like the visuals of it. And what I will say about it is, we were kind of discussing this beforehand, but the way they do it, it's so weird because it is different. It's like, it doesn't feel super creepy male gaze. It doesn't feel super empowering female gaze. It's like this very neutral, like very self-aware, in my opinion. Kind of like an objective, like, awkwardness to it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like she, like, commonly they have her getting into these like battles while she's in her like bra and underwear. Yes. And it's like, but for some reason I don't find it like objectifying. It like, and it almost feels like it's like self-aware and like satirical feeling, in my opinion. Like, it reminds me of like the Scary Movie franchise. Yeah, like, it's very campy and like just fun. I don't know, I just found this whole show very fun and weird, and like I really liked it. I feel like this is one of my favorite anime I've watched. I feel like I've said that about every single one we've done. I keep liking them more and more. That's the thing. It's because, like, as we said, like, you're just watching like the best anime. Like, we have not shown you like a bad anime. No, literally. So yeah, if that sounds like your thing, give it a watch and then come back and then tell us what you think. It's very coming of age too. That's fun. Part of it. Okay, so now let's talk about the show. Spoiler warning and trigger warning. We're going to be talking about all of the things. All of the things. Everything. All the things. So maybe we should start with like the characters. Okay. Like our main people. We have Momo. We've got Momo. She's our main girly. She's our girl. Momo Ayase. She is our psychic. She's a psychic. She develops her psychic powers after the first episode. Yes. And she's very girly, and she like loves boys. But also she's like very assertive, and she's very like sure of herself. Well, and she has a crush on a celebrity. She has a crush on a major celebrity. His name's Ken Takakura. He's like the Japanese like James Dean. He's like an old actor, which I didn't even know he was real. You were showing me him right before, and he was very handsome. I get it, girl. Like, yeah, I see what you mean. So she's like obsessed with him, and she just, got dumped by her first boyfriend. Yeah. And then our other character, his name is Ken Takakura. Crazy. And when that happened, I was like, so it's him. Okay. And then I was like so confused. I was having this context probably like helps, huh? Yeah, because I was like, wait, that's her celebrity crush, and she just didn't know that, like, I thought that was going to be the reveal, was that she, like, actually went to school with her celebrity crush, and it was, like, a Hannah Montana situation or something. Oh, my God. But no, he just happens to have the same name as the guy. Which, I mean, that happens. Does that happen? Yes, it does. So funny. I guess, like, if we're using, like, James Dean as an example. Yes. There's the famous porn star. Okay. I do think it's a stage name, though. You know this, right? No. There's a, like, gay porn star that's name is James Dean as well. Nope. Wow. I don't know that. This was, like, an internet thing. Also, there is a doctor on TikTok. I don't remember what American state he's in. But his name is also Aaron Yeager. Oh, my God. So everyone's always in his comments. Oh, no. It's really funny. They're like, don't do it, bro. So he just happens to have the same name. She calls him Okarun. Yeah. So that's like what we're going to be referring to him as. Okarun, which is just short for occult coon. Yeah. Because she can't call him by his name because it turns her on too much. Yeah. It's so funny. Well, and even in like the first episode, he like says a line that's like, I'm an awkward guy. And she's like, so how could he have said that? Like, she's like, his catchphrase, by the way, what did you say your name was? No, literally. And I want it to be just, like, revealed at the end of, like, this long series. Like, it goes, like, a many seasons that he, like, actually has, like, modeled himself after this guy, like, forever. I think that'd be so funny. Okay.
I don't know. What are the odds? I just think that that's such a funny plot. Like, I'm like, why does he have the same name as her crush, and then he also like said the same catchphrase? It's so random.
Because it's fate, and because he is an awkward guy.
He is. He's really sweet.
He's so sweet. Since I had this on earlier, Malachi was watching it with me too, and we were talking about how Okarun is like the character that is the most like Malachi in real life.
That's so funny.
Like, they're both just like so awkward and like pure-hearted and intelligent, but also like passionate. Like, Okarun, he cares about Momo a lot, but he doesn't like just let her bully him. Like, he'll like yell at her back.
He will, and he'll be like, we have to communicate.
And oh my god. Yeah, we'll talk about that scene later. But, and he just, like, wants to get stronger, and he wants to look cool, but he's just, like, a nerd.
Yeah.
And yeah, he doesn't have any friends, so he's really into the occult. And that's why he believes in aliens and everything. And she saves him one day while he's getting bullied, and then they just form a friendship.
And they're, like, the dynamic duo. They're the main two of this show.
Yes.
And they have such a... Maybe that's why I feel like it's giving more Western, like, media, because their romance is just so normal. Whereas, like, I feel like in so many of the anime I watch, I'm like, it takes them so long to have, like, anything.
Okay.
And I loved that it felt so, like, normally paced for me.
Okay. We need to get you to watch some romance anime.
But that's the thing, though, is that this gave me everything I wanted. I don't want to just watch, like, only the romance.
Right.
I like having the action, but then also the, like, normally paced romance with it is so perfect. I loved it.
Normally paced is a very funny way to phrase it. But, like, you're right.
Normal to me. What I'm used to, I guess.
Okay.
Like, even... like Solo Leveling was like getting the closest to it, but it was still like so
it was
slow.
taking too long,
barely romantic at all.
anything.
This I just loved. It was like, it felt like it was like, yes, we're going on all these adventures, but yes, obviously we still like each other and we're awkward and blah blah blah. Like, I loved that.
We're teenagers falling in love, and
exactly.
it's weird.
Exactly.
And then also Momo's grandmother is a character.
Yes.
She's an important character.
And she is like hot granny.
She is reverse aging hot granny.
Literally.
She's a psychic medium who's like kind of famous.
She's on a show.
She's on a show. And body's tea, face card never declines.
No.
Craziest hairstyle I've ever seen.
And she's insane. Like,
she is.
Momo, the way she talks about her, you are picturing a sweet old woman.
Yeah.
And then you meet her and you're like, and Momo even is like super combative with her. And you're like, this is who you were talking about, Momo?
Yep.
Like, what?
They fight. They beat each other up.
They fight. She like, her grandma like makes fun of her. Like, her grandma's like, I don't believe you that aliens are real. It's like so funny. She's a really good character.
Yeah. I guess Turbo Granny's also a character.
I was going to say, not to be confused with Turbo Granny, because so we're going to eventually recap the movie as well.
Yes.
DanDaDan Evil Eye that we saw in theaters.
We did. We saw that in theaters on a double date.
It did a little recap of the first season, which I hadn't watched yet, but not enough. We left and I said, so is the thing in the cat her grandma? I thought Turbo Granny and her grandma were the same person.
Okay.
Because her grandma, spoiler alert, isn't in the first 3 episodes of season 2.
Yeah.
Because they're on location.
Okay, yeah, that got...
And so that is... So not to be confused, you guys. Those are 2 separate characters.
Turbo Granny is a yokai, which is a Japanese, like, spirit.
Okay.
And she possessed Okarun, but then they... put her spirit inside one of those like lucky cat money cat things,
which I said what it was.
Thank you.
Maneki Nico.
Thank you. Maneki Nico,
which just the waving cat that you know about.
So they put her in that, but Okarun still has her powers, which is just really strong, and he can run really fast,
and she's gonna be, it seems like, just kind of their little sidekick. Like, you know, there's always kind of that little sidekick.
See, I thought their dynamic was like how Sukuna was going to be in JJK.
I kind of did too.
And then Sukuna turned out to just continue to be the worst.
Yeah.
And that I was disappointed. But that seems to be Turbo Granny's dynamic.
Which I love.
Yeah. So, and then we have 2 more, like, human characters.
We have Aira.
Aira. She is...
She's the pink-haired girl.
She's the pink-haired girl. She is the popular girl. She is Momo's biggest op.
Literally.
She has a crush on Okarun.
Mm-hmm.
She calls him Mr. Takakura.
Yeah.
Or Takakura-kun if you're watching it in Japanese.
Yeah. And her and Momo have drama. She's kind of like a typical shallow popular girl.
Except this girl thinks, she's like, I was hand chosen by God to save the world from demons.
Because of her heavenly beauty.
Because of her heavenly beauty. She's like, she's so beautiful that she believes she's chosen by God. She thinks that she's Teruhashi, and she's just not Teruhashi.
I don't know what this is.
It's from Psyche K.
Okay.
Teruhashi is Psyche, an all-powerful psychic's biggest op, because she is literally God's favorite.
Oh.
So God just, like, does everything she wants, and everyone will, like, drop, like, she's like, oh no, I can never give a boy, like, chocolates for Valentine's Day, because then it'll start World War III.
Oh.
What?
Serious.
Teruhashi, what did you do?
No, literally. But yeah, one thing I will say about her is she stands on business still.
She does stand on business.
She's like, I am God's chosen one, and so this is my responsibility.
Yes.
And I'm like, period.
And she has the best, like, ride or die friends who think she's crazy, but they're just like, okay, girl, this is what you want to do. We're going to help you.
Yeah. And yeah, she kind of starts as a little bit of an op, and then we get to see more of her. It's really fun.
She ends up being an ally, but, like, a reluctant ally.
Yeah. But yeah, she definitely, like, kind of joins the crew at the end of season 1.
And then finally, we have Momo's childhood friend.
Slash crush.
Slash crush back in the day.
Yeah, her childhood crush.
Jiji.
Jiji, and that's boyfriend.
That it voiced by our boyfriend, Aleks Lee.
Oh, dude. When he shows up,
he was doing some work.
This voice just does something to me.
Isn't it nice?
I have been classically conditioned.
Oh, that's why he's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. He is cute.
He is cute.
And he shows up because he's like, hey, my house is haunted. Momo, can you come do your thing? Can you come take care of it?
He comes in, he's staying with Momo and her grandma because the grandma was friends with his parents, and his parents were in the hospital. And he's starting to see ghosts and has a little haunted house situation.
Yes. And so he wants that taken care of. And he's very silly. He does a lot of crazy voices. I'm like, Aleks Lee has the most fun voicing this character. And, like, his little videos of him, like, in the studio, like, voicing him, he's just having so much fun. It's so cute.
I know. I love him.
And then in Evil Eye, he gets to use his deep voice, and I was like, hell yeah.
I know.
I was like, that.
When that dropped, I was like, that's Genu.
I was like, Genu's song, what are you doing?
Literally,
here?
when did Genu show up?
Oh my god, fancy seeing you in this show. So yeah, those are our characters. I love them. Yeah, I love all of them. Maybe this can be a thing where Jiji's your boyfriend in the show and then Okarun's mine. No?
Probably we could do that. I do like Okarun too, though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that he reminds you of your husband, but, like...
He does remind me of my husband.
But, like, that doesn't mean he's off limits for me. I like him too.
So true. You know what? Valid.
Exactly.
That's real.
I especially like him, though, in his...
Yes!
In his little demon form.
Okay, so...
Let's get down to business.
So, first episode, right? She saves him from getting bullied. To make a long fucking story short, she saves him from getting bullied. She starts talking to him, and he's confused because he doesn't have any friends. And so he's talking to her, and she gets annoyed and then yells at him. And then he's like, oh, okay, we're not friends. And then she feels bad. So she's like, wait... I don't believe in aliens, but I believe in ghosts. And he's like, you're fucking
out
stupid.
Laughing. I could
like,
not
you
believe
idiot.
That. Okay. I'm the opposite. I'm him, actually.
You're him?
Yeah.
I believe in everything.
I believe in aliens. I do not believe in ghosts.
I believe in everything.
So I'm him. I'm like, you believe in ghosts, but not aliens. Like, come on.
And she's like, yeah, ghosts are for sure real because my grandma's a famous medium.
That's so funny.
And so they make a bet. He's like, okay, you go to this building where it's been reported to have a ton of UFO sightings. And she's like, okay, you go to this tunnel where it's super haunted. And then they're talking on on the phone.
Yeah.
Why do I picture
I don't
walkie-talkies?
That's funny. You just made that up.
I just made it up. They're on the phone. And So actually, he finds Turbo Granny.
Yep.
The spirit of Turbo Granny.
And
She's an
creepy.
old lady. She's creepy, and she's like, she's literally like, be a good little boy, I'll suck on your dick.
Literally.
That's literally what she says. And he's like, and he tries to run away, but that's the thing. She's called Turbo Granny.
And Momo's like, don't run, that'll make it worse. And he's like, no, I think I just ran into a creepy old lady. Like, he doesn't believe it's a ghost because he doesn't believe in ghosts.
And no, she catches right the fuck up to him and then gobbles him up.
And then as that's happening,
yeah, so I love, guys, the use of color, the direction
that's what
in the
I wanted
show
to
is
also
so
talk
good.
about. That's what I also want to talk about, actually.
Okay.
Like,
the art is amazing.
the animation style, like, they use animation and color
so
well. Like, this is an anime you watch and you're like, because I don't really like animated stuff very much.
Nope.
You love animated stuff.
I do.
I could take it or leave it most of the time. This is where I'm like, yes, this is how animated stuff should be. This is why you use this as a medium.
This
like,
is the standard.
They are so creative with it. And the thing I love is that they choose one color for every like boss fight. And they use it and they like stick everything in that color, and it's so
good.
Cool.
So like while she's on the phone, it's like it's hinting to us, the audience, that the aliens are there, but she hasn't noticed yet. So the light, you just see like this bright blue light shining through the windows, and she hasn't like realized it yet, but we're like, oh my god, it's the aliens. And slowly the lights go off one by one and it gets darker, and she's just like engulfed in this blue light. And then the aliens appear, and they're in fucking disguised. They're disguised as Japanese businessmen,
and they're so creepy looking.
They're so scary looking, and that is also super important to the theme of the show. And so she gets kidnapped by aliens, and he gets possessed by a yokai.
So they're both proven correct.
They're both proven correct, and both the aliens and the yokai are metaphorically, but also kind of actually like sexually assaulting them.
Yeah.
Or that is what they want to do.
Yeah.
That is like their end goal.
Like the Serpo aliens is what they're called. They're like, we want to steal your banana
organs.
Like, it's so funny.
They have no females on their planet, so they like take women's like reproductive organs basically to clone themselves.
Yeah.
And so she's in this spaceship, and I really appreciated my husband for this, because he told me right off the bat, he was like, hey, by the way, it looks really bad. She's gonna get away, and it's gonna be okay. And I really appreciated that, because like, as the scene was happening, I was like, okay.
Well, and see, that's the thing, is that I think that I just innately knew that. Like, I was like, well, obviously she's gonna get away.
I thought there was a chance she wouldn't.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is that I think, like, I found it fine because I just was like, I just assumed that she was going to get away, and then you found it fine because you were told that she was going to get away.
Exactly.
And so I think that I understand how if you, like, went into this show completely blind, you might be like, whoa, what's going on
What are we
here?
doing? Yeah.
But I definitely was, like, a little confused when I watched it at how much everybody had like hyped up that scene to be like so insane, because it definitely like it goes on pretty long,
and it is insane because one of the aliens rips off his pants and it's like a robot penis.
Yeah.
And it's like a fucking, what are these things called? A drill?
Yeah.
A drill? Is that what that is?
I don't know what you're talking about, but
the
something
sharp,
that spins.
pointy, spinny thingy.
Yeah, that's a drill.
Okay, great. Yeah, and that's
sharp,
what it is.
Pointy, spinny thing.
And so you watch it, and then I'm like kind of clenching my thighs.
Yeah,
but I did laugh when he ripped off his pants, and that's what it was. I did laugh.
That's the thing, is that there is like this level of absurdity to it.
Yeah,
that it's this very interesting feeling of it's like, this is kind of freaky, but this is also so absurd and like weird.
And remember, she's on the phone with Okarun, and so somehow Turbo Granny in Okarun's body comes crawling out of her phone, freaking Freddy Krueger style.
I love that. Like, can we get that technology
one day?
That's so slight. And even the aliens are like, we don't have that technology yet.
They're like, ooh,
like,
impressive.
Okay.
And so it's Okarun that's like there and starts running around and fighting the aliens. He's possessed, but he looks like Turbo Granny.
Yeah.
And I actually saw a TikTok today while I was getting ready for the podcast that someone had posted on Threads or Twitter, I'm not sure.
Okay.
That it was actually Turbo Granny using her powers to crawl through the phone because she heard a woman about to be assaulted and wanted to go help her because that's her whole thing.
Yeah, because they do end up talking about that later on.
Yeah, that's her whole thing. So I was like, that is such a great detail that I didn't like quite notice before.
Yeah.
Because at this point, remember, Okarun does not control those powers. That's not him. It's her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually very interesting.
And I like that more. I like it more now.
I do like it more too.
And then this is when Momo's psychic powers fully awaken. She can use telekinesis. She can use mage hand, basically. I like to say that. I like to say they're using mage hand.
Okay. She's like, I've played D&D.
I'm like, in case, did you guys know that I play D&D? And so
can you just tell we're nerds?
Yeah,
Is it obvious?
We might be pretty, but we're nerds.
I know that we're like so cute. Like we look so cool, but like we are nerdy, you guys.
And the thing is, the thing about me, you may have always been hot before you were a nerd, or in addition to being a nerd. I was not.
You were a nerd first?
I was not hot. I was not cute. I was fucking geeked out.
Okay, period.
And grew to be hot.
You're a true nerd.
Yeah, and I grew to be hot.
Okay, period.
Yeah. Anyways. So
yeah, back to the show.
So they crashed the fucking spaceship, basically, and they're running away, okay? And her clothes are ripped off at this point, because remember, they were going to steal her banana organs.
She's in her bra and underwear, my girl's...
As they are.
My girl's cute.
But
I love her.
Here's the thing, okay? Okarun, so she discovers that if she uses her psychic powers on her, she can suppress Turbo Granny, and he can be normal.
Yeah.
So that's what she's doing while they're running away, right? And eventually he's like, I'm so sorry. Can you please put this on? I'm an awkward guy. And I feel super, like, distracted.
Yep.
And so...
A gentleman.
He's being such a gentleman.
He's such a gentleman.
And she's, like, triggered. Like, and so she takes it. She puts it on, and she's like, sorry, I'm terrible with names. What did you say your name was? Oh, he goes, oh, I'm Ken Takakura. And guys, the shot, you've seen it, okay?
Yeah, of course.
You've seen it in edits because it's iconic. She hears his name, and the fucking spaceship behind her blows up, and the, like, explosion behind her gets closer, and it, like, sends shrapnel her way, and, like, her hair is blowing, and it's, like, her ovaries just, like, exploded.
Yep.
And it's just so cute.
It's so cute. It's so romantic right off the bat.
Like, what a start to this, like, friendship/relationship.
No, literally.
And so the next episode, she's like, okay, because every time he says his name, she, like, has a fucking seizure.
Yep.
It's so funny.
I know.
So she's like, I gotta call you something else. She's been calling him Occult Coon the whole time. So she just starts calling him Okarun. So they go to her grandma because they gotta figure out how to get Turbo Granny out of him.
Yeah.
Because it's a problem. She can't just keep her psychic powers on him all day, every day. He, like, tries to go to the bathroom. He can't. And it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So awkward. She has to, like, watch him
so
while he goes to the bathroom.
She can't look away because she can only do it. She's concentrating. It's so uncomfortable, but so funny.
Well, and they have to deal with, like, another alien, and that boss fight is, like, all in, like, black and white grayscale.
Yeah.
That one's really fun. Like, they really play around with the color, and, like, it's a different focal color for every boss fight. It's so fun.
That boss fight was when he discovered going all out, or he discovered, like, his, like, demon form. Right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah. So it's like Turbo Granny is, like, suppressed a bit, but his hair turns white. He gets a little taller.
He gets, like, so hot voice.
His voice goes crazy.
He turns into a cool guy.
He's like,
He starts calling him babe. Like, he's
He's
a cool
like,
guy.
oh, what a drag.
Literally.
But he's like super strong. And so yeah, he becomes really hot.
Yeah, he does.
And so that's when they discover he can do that.
Yeah, and then they actually both pass out after that one.
Yeah.
And then, like, her grandma comes and finds them, and then the grandma, like, takes care of them and is like, hey, you're gonna have to start training.
Yeah.
And she tells them the only way that you're gonna get away from Turbo Granny is by playing tag. You're gonna have to race her.
That's her thing.
That's so funny.
And my interpreted, or maybe just like the explicit reason behind it, is like really devastating.
Okay.
But
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But like it sets up like the coolest like fight.
It's such a fun fight. They do the whole like the chariot running sound, like song.
Yes.
That is just like
and Momo's riding Okarun on his like piggyback, and you know they're running from Turbo Granny. They use a train.
Yep, they have to go on a train at one point, and they end up winning, and it's fine. They win.
Unfortunately,
she's actually still inside of him.
Yeah. Well, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like suppressed inside of him, and she was able to do that like at the very last minute without them noticing. And he doesn't notice at first, and the grandma's like, let me see, like, because so part of it was that Turbo Granny took his...
Yeah, so he discovers this at school.
Yeah.
After the cutest, like, kind of sequence where...
Well, he had... Because at first, like, before any of this happened, she had taken all of it down there.
Oh, yeah.
And so he didn't have anything down there.
Oh, yeah. That's also
and
why...
And then after that, he got...
His
penis back.
Yeah, yeah.
But he didn't get his balls back.
No.
And he doesn't realize until he's at school.
Yeah. So... Yeah, I want to talk about that episode because it's so cute. So like he gets the, can we call it the most important thing? Most noticeable thing?
The penis?
Yes.
Okay, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Not the balls.
Yes.
He gets that back. And Turbo Granny, as far as they know, is like taken care of.
Yes.
And then he's like walking to school and he's super nervous to talk to her.
Yep.
But she's like, we're friends now. And she's like talking to him about the aliens. And she's like, what do you think they eat? And he's like just being really awkward and scared.
Because he's like, I don't think she actually wants to be friends with me.
I know. So she goes to class and she's all pouty. And like, she's like, I want to. It's so cute. It's like,
so
it's
cute.
so, this is how it is when you have a crush on someone. She's like, I just want to talk to Okarun. I just want to talk to him. And it's like, when you have a crush on someone and all you want to do is spend all your time talking to them, it's like the cutest.
Well, and the thing that I love about their dynamic is that they are so on the same page from the get-go throughout the whole thing.
I know.
They both like each other equally. They both like their friendship equally. They both have like similar feelings for each other. They both like feel the same awkwardness. Like even the night before that school day when he's leaving her house, they have a moment where they're like,
goodbye?
Goodbye? Does it mean goodbye or goodbye? Like, they're like, are we never going to talk again? Or is it goodbye, see you tomorrow? Like,
and so they land on see you tomorrow.
And so it's just really sweet and cute. And I love that they both have, like, the exact same intensity about them.
And they're so on the same page, in fact, that when they decide, okay, no, I need to go find them, I need to talk to them on their lunch, they go to the exact same locations in the school and just keep missing each other. And it's so frustrating because you think they're not going to find each other. And then they do. And then they smack fucking faces and kiss. And kiss accidentally.
Literally in like the third episode.
It's so cute. And everyone's like, you were making out?
Literally.
You guys were kissing and they're like, no. And so that gets them into a fight.
Yep.
But that's when he goes into the bathroom and then realizes.
And then he has to go to her and be like, we need to talk. We need to talk. It's serious.
And she's like, no, I don't want to talk to you.
Like, I'm mad at you.
And everyone else is like, oh my God, he's so sweet. He's so sweet.
They're like, go talk to him.
And they're like cheering him on while he's just trying to have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
It's really sweet.
And then, okay. So then they go to her grandma again. And somehow, when she whacks him, she can see his aura
Yeah.
change, and then that's how they realize that Turbo Granny's still inside of him.
Yeah, and so Momo has to, like, grab her out.
Using her
aura
powers.
abilities, and then they put her in the cat, the waving cat. And then they somehow, for some reason, she reveals that his balls were put into these golden orbs.
So they're covered in her aura. Or, like, her, like, power.
Okay.
And so they're gold
and
now.
it turns solid gold?
No, it's just a layer of gold, I guess.
Okay.
I just watched
It is
this.
so random, though.
It's so random. And so they're like, give him his balls back. And she's like, I don't have them.
He's like, I kind of lost them.
I lost them while you were chasing me.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny.
It's so funny. And, she's like, she tries to use her powers to, like, fight them. And they're like, no. Your spirit's in the cat. He's got your powers.
Yeah.
So
she's innocent now. Like, she can't do anything.
She can't do anything. So
that's basically the whole, like, Turbo Granny arc. And
yes.
that's, like, the very beginning, like, first 5 episodes, I would say.
Yeah.
And
then they start looking for his balls.
and that's when we get to meet our girl Aira.
Because guess where it lands? This is part of the reason this chick thinks she's, like, hand-selected
and
by
like, why
God.
wouldn't she?
Because one of his balls lands on her head, and she's like, whoa, what's this? Oh my god, it's shiny and gold. And then there's lightning behind her from the boss fight on the train.
And she's realizing that she can see things that she shouldn't be seeing.
Which, yes, she can see spirits.
Yes.
When
she's holding the gold orb.
Yeah. Yes.
And so because of that, that's what she thinks. She thinks heaven gave her that power at that point.
And she thinks Momo is a demon.
Yes, because she can see Momo's hand aura power. And so she's like, that's a demon if I ever seen one. And so that's what she does the whole plot.
She's so, like, evangelical.
No, literally. I'm like, what is
like
this?
a crusader.
Literally. And she tells her 2 lackeys, she's like, go get me a cross. Bring her here. Like, I'm gonna bring
holy
her here.
water.
Literally. And so they bring her here. The cross is a lighter.
That's so funny.
It's so funny.
They lure her to an abandoned warehouse.
Well, and so another aspect is that when Momo was mad at Okarun at one point, Aira had flirted with him.
Yes.
And
not because she thinks he's cute.
No, she just liked the attention. And as she walked away, you listen to her and she's like, wow, what a weirdo. Like, what a freak. And then Momo can tell that she's being rude about it, and so Momo drops a wash basin on her head.
Funny.
And so then when Aira goes up to Momo and is like, hey girl, like, can we talk? Momo's like, oh god, she found out it was me with the wash basin. So Momo goes with her. And I'm like, Momo girl, why would you let her take you to an abandoned building?
Because, like, what is she gonna do to her?
That's true. She has psychic powers, but still, I was like, you're not getting suspicious.
Also, she
at
can
all?
actually fight. Like, she can throw some hands regardless.
But still, I'm like, why would you even put yourself in that position? But yeah, they show up at the abandoned building. Her lackeys grab Momo.
These girls are like, we don't know what you're doing. We don't know why you think this way, but whatever you say, queen, we got you.
And I would hope that you would act the same way.
Oh, for sure.
I needed that.
Listen, I don't do anything unless I'm like, does Becca say this is okay? Like, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I need you to decide for me.
I'm like, we do need to exercise this girl. And you're like, period.
Period.
Oh, but let's
Taylor's ex, I'm there. I got
you.
Period.
But yeah, and it is so funny. And another aspect of her having the gold ball is she can see this, like, creepy lady.
Standing outside
the
school.
Ghost lady is, like, standing outside the school. And it, like, keeps getting closer to her. I'm like, it's like it follows.
I'm like, that... I was like, you've seen It Follows?
Of course I have.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised you've seen it.
You'd be surprised at the amount of horror movies I've seen.
I would, honestly.
Because we have this conversation. Because you're, like,
scared of horror things now, I feel like.
I can't explain it.
It's okay.
All right.
We all go through our eras.
Yeah.
That's life.
But I love It Follows.
It was a good one, but yeah, I was giving It Follows to me.
For sure.
And then during this, like, thing...
This confrontation,
this creepy lady barges in.
And, Turbo Granny in the cat was in Okarun's backpack.
Yeah, so Okarun shows up too.
Yes.
Because he's like, oh no, like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and they're like, no, we're not worried about Aya. Aira. We're not worried about her. We're worried about her.
Yeah, and then she bursts in. She has this crazy long hair
and a red dress.
And she's the acrobatic silky.
Yes. She dances around and she's got long hair and she uses it to restrain. And she thinks Aira is her daughter.
Yes, and she keeps being like,
call me mommy.
Call me mommy. You called me mommy once. Like, I need you to do it again. It was the best day of my life.
And this, okay, here's the thing about all the yokai and and part of why this show is brilliant or this story is brilliant. All of the yokai were like once victims of something horrible. And now they take revenge on others in various formats.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times it's like Turbo Granny and then this lady, they're both like victims of sexual violence. And Turbo Granny is like trying to get revenge for all of the like girl victims that she's witnessed over the years. And that's why she's like after, this kid who's in this tunnel's like genitals. And this girl, this new yokai, what turned her into that is that she had a daughter that she was trying to support, so she was a sex worker. And she ends up getting murdered one day and her daughter's kidnapped. And then after she's murdered, she sees baby Aira, and baby Aira lost her mom, and so she mistakes her for her mom and calls her mom. Yeah, and
because children have like more of a connection to the spiritual realm, so she can see her in that moment.
So she clung to her all those years and thought she was her daughter, and like this is like, that's why I love all these yokai, because they are, metaphorical like examples of like human suffering basically. And then slowly, yes, they are antagonists, but also they end up becoming each of the different characters' source of strength.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't have to get your strength from your suffering, but your suffering can be a source of your strength. And like one of the themes is like these adult figures taking advantage of these kids, because these are just high schoolers.
Yeah.
These are high schoolers falling in love for the first time, discovering their sexualities, and these like adult figures like just keep using them and like projecting their issues onto them.
Yeah. It's definitely like it's middle of the season and we get this like intense episode with her backstory, emotional. And it kind of comes out of nowhere. It's like a little bit of a different tone than the rest of the show. It's a very interesting part of the episode that we getting the Acrobatic Silky's backstory.
Yeah.
And she's actually like wearing the dress that her daughter like was wearing, that she had bought for her daughter when everything happened. And it's definitely a really emotional scene. And yeah, I love that, because we even get later on with one of the aliens, we get like his backstory. And I love that they've kind of like humanized these like scary things that are these antagonists that are fighting them.
Oh my god, and I have more to say about that when we talk about the movie later.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I really loved this scene, and eventually like what ends up happening is the Acrobatic Silky ends up saving Aira by giving her power. Well, yeah, but like so they battle and all the usual stuff, but eventually she ends up saving her and giving her power to her.
Yeah, to bring her back. And as she's like, so her spiritual power is gone, right? Because she gave it to Aira. So as she's crumbling away, Aira stands up and gives her a hug and calls her mommy, which is all she wanted the whole time.
So she dies happy and like, dies, but
passes on?
Yeah, maybe passes on.
Yeah. And I think, and yes, the tone is like very different from the majority of the show, but I think it's super appropriate for the subject matter.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that.
Well, and this whole boss fight is like pink themed, and it's really fun. It's like, it's just such a fun, I love that theme of this show.
Yeah.
And then something else I loved is that through this battle, Aira develops kind of like a star-crossed lovers crush on Okarun, because she's like, he's a demon too.
Because she sees him transform.
And she's like, oh no, he's a demon too, but he saved saved me.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm a human, he's a demon. Like, we can't be together, but, like, oh, I love him.
And she's so relatable for that,
I'm like,
to be
if
honest.
that ain't me.
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry. I cannot blame her for that.
No, I loved it. It was perfect.
And so, the next, like, big thing is Momo, you know, and Okarun are, like, friends again.
Yep.
And she's like, let's hang out at lunch. And
he's like, I'm busy. I have a report.
I have a report. And then she's like, okay, well, then I'll see you after school. And he's like, I have plans.
I'm busy.
And she's like, fucking okay.
Literally, she's pissed.
She's so upset. And he's outside at lunch working out because he wants to get
He needs to
stronger,
train so that he can protect her.
Yeah. Because he's like, that was too close. And he wasn't even really the one to, like, solve the problem in that issue, in that scenario.
Well, and that's the funny thing, is that literally Momo is the one that comes in and saves the day.
Yeah,
every single
time.
battle. It's amazing.
Like, he's useful for
no,
sure.
he is, but
he's
she's
not
always the
saving
one
the day.
that's getting, like, the killing hit.
Yeah. She gets the final blow. And so he's training, and it's so cute.
It's so cute.
And this is when Aira comes up and decides to confess her feelings.
Yep. She's like, oh my god, I know, like, we can't be together, but, like, we have to. I love you.
And how do they fall?
Well, because she comes up to him and tries to kiss him, and he's
Oh
like,
my God.
what are you doing?
Boundaries.
And that's my boy.
No, I know.
Literally any other show, he would have just let her kiss him, and then and then she would have seen them kiss, and then
it would have been worse.
and then he would have been like, no, she kissed me. This is what you do. Take notes, fellas.
Take notes.
If you're watching this, do not.
It's the trend. What do you do if you're at a bar and a girl who's not me comes up to you?
No, literally.
What are you doing?
No, literally. Yeah. So that happens, and of course, so he's pushing her away. She's like, no, we need to kiss. We're in love. Like, she's fighting with him. And they're, like, wrestling at this point, and they fall to the ground. He's on top of her. And, of course, that's when my girl Momo walks in up and sees.
And she's so mad.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
As I would be.
She's like, I can't believe you're making out with that skank.
I love her.
I love her so
much.
Like,
okay, I know that, like, there's
it's not
feminism
cool.
and everything, but, like, why can't we just call a girl a skank once in a while? Like,
well, when she's being a skank.
When she's trying to steal your man,
I know.
You're really gonna say you can't call a girl a skank when she's trying to steal your man? Uh-oh, the hooded defender's coming out.
I mean.
I have to say, I felt defensive of her in that moment. I was like,
Thank
honestly,
you.
like, I would feel the same way.
I'm so
I just maybe
sorry.
wouldn't say it.
You wouldn't say it?
I wouldn't say it on national television.
I'm so sorry. It's just when all of the bombshells are going after your man, I understand you're gonna be a little fucking defensive.
But then it's also like, I would stand on business and I wouldn't be all buddy-buddy with them the next day. Just saying. I'd keep hating them.
We call that character development.
And I don't believe in that, actually, for myself, personally.
This has been my hooded defense of the week. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So, and then, we have another fucking boss fight now.
Yep.
Because now that aliens are back. I like that we go back and forth.
I know, I'm like, Serpo aliens are back?
Yeah. And it's a mantis shrimp alien.
And we're back to the, like, yellow-orange color scheme that they bring.
Yes.
Love it.
Oh, and our girl Nessie.
There's also the Loch Ness Monster, by the way. Which was so random.
I want to take a poll. Oh, okay, guys. If you're watching and you made it this far, comment if you also are a girl and love the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, like, were you weirdly obsessed with the Loch Ness Monster as a child?
Because me and Becca were both just like, wait a second, I love Nessie. Why do you love Nessie?
And I'm like, no, that was, like, my pet project.
Do we all just love the Loch Ness Monster?
Like, was that just, like, in the, like, ether when we were kids?
Yeah, like, what happened? So now I want to know, do we all love the Loch Ness Monster?
Please let us know in the comments below.
And I was like, okay, do you currently believe in the Loch Ness Monster?
No.
Okay.
Of course you do. My girl believes in fantastical things, and we love that for her.
I don't believe in Bigfoot. I'll tell you that. Okay, I do not believe in Bigfoot.
It's just because it's a male.
I know.
You don't believe any fictional things can be male.
Wait, unfortunately, that might be true.
You only believe in female fictional.
Only females are magical.
No, literally, that is you. You're like, Nessie, my girl? Yes, she is real. Bigfoot? No.
what, kind of like a hairy guy who lives in the woods, could not be true.
Fake. Literally you. That's hilarious.
Okay.
But yeah, I was like, oh, we're
doing everything.
We're just doing like the occult.
Yeah.
That's just
no,
the theme.
Exactly,
and throughout
guys.
this whole thing, Okarun always knows what the thing is, and he like has this little magazine that's like one of those like creepy tabloids that just have like the stupidest, like it's like someone saw Jesus in their
clickbait.
toast.
Yeah.
It's like those magazines, and he just is always like, oh my god, it's this thing from the magazine. It's so funny. I love
this
him.
is his like special interest.
Yeah. And I love it.
So the mantis shrimp is an alien, and the frickin' Japanese businessmen.
Yeah,
what
so
are they called again?
Serpo.
The Serpo.
So they
aliens.
brought like a lackey.
Yeah, well, they hired 2 lackeys.
Oh, I thought it was
They
only
hired
one.
Nessie to keep Momo busy.
Oh,
because she's
wait,
the bigger
I didn't know
threat.
that. I thought that this was just completely separate
bosses
for some reason.
They hired Nessie to keep Momo busy because she's the bigger threat.
I didn't know
she
Nessie
gets
was for hire. How do
Yeah.
I get her?
I-
What the heck?
Unfortunately, she doesn't actually take orders very well. She will kill indiscriminately.
True.
And they hired the mantis shrimp to beat up Okarun.
Mm-hmm.
Because, together they kicked their asses the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got Okarun in their little fucking gravity shield, like Caleb, so he can't transform now.
Yep.
Because he's just being weighed down. But you know what they did not account for?
And what we didn't account for even at that point.
I didn't, and I was like, I saw this and I was like, hell yeah.
Well, when this happened, I was like, wait, that's that girl? I'm so confused when it happens because I'm dumb.
So now Aira is
Acrobatic
Silky because she is possessed by her power.
Mm-hmm.
So she transforms just like Okarun, and like the face and everything, and I just love that.
The long hair.
That's just the character designs in this. It's just so good.
It is. It's
so
really
interesting
good.
to look at. But it's like not too. It's like not too weird that you're not sure what you're looking at. You know exactly what you're looking at, but it's so cool.
It's like just humanoid enough that it's like it makes sense, but it's like just fantastical enough. It's perfect.
So she starts fighting too, and she's like, oh, also the gravity melts his clothes away.
Oh,
is that what? Because that's when he loses his clothes, right? Isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So now he's naked.
We literally just watched this episode.
We did. We just finished this. He's totally naked right now.
That's my boy.
He's so shy.
Still with only one testicle, by
just
the way.
one. And that's what they're like, now we're going to take your banana organs. And he's like, no, I only have one testicle.
Literally. He's like, it's not even complete yet.
You can't even get the whole set.
Oh my god.
But then they discover that she's got psychic powers, and they're like, oh, okay, now we're gonna take your banana organs too.
Yeah.
Because like they're trying to advance their species,
They're
so
like,
they want like all the
perfect.
cool humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when Momo shows up because she dodges Nessie's laser.
Yep.
Throat laser, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And
by the way, they're in school. The
oh
whole
yeah,
time this is
they're
happening.
in school.
And everybody else, they're just like in another realm, basically, but like still at the school, so nobody else is there.
No one else is there. Only the people with like this, like that are possessed or have spiritual power.
And the
can
aliens
enter.
do say like, "Wow, this is more like spiritual people all in one space than normal."
Which,
I'm like, okay.
Which I don't buy that. I feel like
I kind of have to believe them.
I just feel like
I'm not there.
Okay, I'm like realistically.
I'm like, girl, they were there. They presumably have done this a lot.
I guess. Okay. No, you're right.
I found that an interesting like lore shaper. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so this is rare.
This is rare, but also common enough that they've seen kind of this before.
Yes.
So, okay, so now they're fighting all together. They start running away.
And they just fight. Like
They just
it's
fight.
a
It's just a
boss
fight.
fight.
But the important part happens when Nessie fills the whole school up with water.
Yep.
And okay, this is the important thing. Aira gets shot, by the way, into another dimension. She
Yep.
gets punched into a different realm. And Momo goes, "This is all your fault because you were making out with that skank." And he's like, listen to me. And I've seen so many edits of this scene, and it hits every time. It's so good. It makes me so emotional. This guy, our guy, Ken Takakura, a fucking man. He knows the miscommunication trope, and he is not about that shit.
Yep.
He will not let that happen. He says, I knew you were upset about that. Listen, if you are upset, just tell me, because I can explain. I can explain everything, but you just have to let me, because I don't give a fuck if anyone else misunderstands. You're the one I care about, and I can't have you misunderstanding.
I could not believe that.
And she's like, don't touch me. Don't say that while you're naked. Because he's naked this whole time.
Literally.
And it's just so sweet. I love them so much.
They're really sweet.
Their like romance story is so cute.
I know. I really, really love them.
I'm sorry I'm screaming this whole time.
It's okay. I think I was screaming earlier too.
Okay,
I was like, wow, I'm yelling.
Listener, I'm so
We
sorry.
had one lemonade, you guys.
Yeah, a single hard lemonade.
Single hard lemonade.
I want another though. My throat is getting dry from all this yapping.
We need to finish this episode.
Okay. God,
Yeah, and then they like go underwater, and they have like this moment where they're looking at each other. Momo's like, I figured it out. Like something he says reminds her
of the mantis shrimp.
And then she's like, okay, we need to. She's like, I can, because he can't swim in his ability. Like he can't turn into Turbo Granny.
Can't swim, I guess.
And he can't swim like that. But she's like, if I use my aura hands and I
grope you like
literally
a slippery
giving
fish.
a handy. Unbelievable.
And she's like, and then I can ride you.
Literally.
Those are her exact
And she does.
words.
And my girl does.
And like, I get it, but like, guys.
Everything is an innuendo in this show. It's so funny.
And that's the thing. If that makes you uncomfortable, that is okay. If that is your issue with it, is that you're
then don't watch it.
Then this is not the show for you, okay? I understand that. But I feel like complaining about that aspect of the show is unfair when that's what the show is about.
And it's like, I don't know, just the way they do it is like, it feels very fresh and like funny and like fun.
It's very funny.
Like it's not this like serious, creepy thing. It's like just these teenagers discovering their sexuality, honestly.
Yes.
And I think maybe that's why it's so relatable, is it's like, it's just so silly.
And one of the problems someone did, I'm sure this is the problem for a lot of people, is that, well, they're in high school and they're like naked a lot of the times, and that makes me uncomfortable. I understand.
Yeah.
I do multiple things can be true at the same time.
Of course.
I understand if that makes you uncomfortable. But as you said, I feel like it's not normally done in a, like, yes, it's sexual, but it's not
a way
like,
for us to get like sexual gratification from it.
No, it's sexual, but it's not sexy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, yes, it is sexual because that's what the show is about, and that's what they're like discovering and working through. So, I understand if watching teenagers do that makes you uncomfortable. But the thing is, don't you remember being a teenager and discovering your sexuality?
Literally. And also I'm like, so are we canceling every other show?
And
like Euphoria?
Euphoria should be.
There are so many shows that like sexuality, they're teen shows, and sexuality is a theme, because that is a huge theme of coming of age.
It is. Yep, it is.
And it's like, this is animated.
It's
so much better than a show like that where it's a real person.
And there's so many, lest you all forget, there are so many anime that tries to do this, but does it way worse and way trashier. Like hot take, I love this show. I cannot watch Nisekoi. I hate Nisekoi. You don't know what that is. Don't worry about it.
I won't.
It's just a high school harem anime.
Okay.
But it's like, immediately, it's just, no one's naked, but it's just like, it's too male gazy. Okay. It's too much. But like, and you guys know me, I assume.
Yeah, you know us, right?
I'm a man hater. I am like
If there's one thing about you, they should know.
If there's one fucking thing about me, the thing about me is I hate men. And also, like, I will always like take the woman's side. I don't like to see like women get taken advantage of. I hate Outlander now because of that. Oh. I loved Outlander. I love season 1 Outlander. Okay. But like, that is something that does make me very uncomfortable and that I don't like to watch. But I love and really appreciate how it's handled in this show.
Yeah, it just feels fun in this show and like silly and like not super high stakes a lot of the time.
And I do fear if you're watching the whole show and you're like, this show would be so great if it wasn't so sexual. I hate to say it, this is a symptom of like conservatism on the rise, guys.
No, it's a recession indicator.
It's a rising conservatism indicator because, like, you're right, Becca. Like, let us be freaked out on Maine.
Literally.
What happened? Like 2 years ago, we were all freaked out, weren't we?
What was 2 years ago?
2023. I just feel like
what was going on that we were all freaked out about?
Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just last year.
We're just not freaked out anymore though. But like 2 years ago, it's normal.
I feel like yes. I feel like people were like less freaking prudish.
Less purity culture.
Yes, the purity culture right now is driving me crazy.
And that's the thing is that I am a prude. Like I grew up with purity culture, and it impacted me deeply, actually. Yep. And like when I see something and I'm not impacted by it, I'm like, I cannot believe anybody else would care about this. Like it just, I'm like, I cannot believe this is a discussion. I don't even want to talk about Sabrina Carpenter right now, but.
And that's another thing where I'm like, two things can be true.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, they end up having a whole little thing with that alien that was like the lackey. And
oh my god, yeah, they save his family.
They like get out of it and they're all just completely naked in the school.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, the part right after where she's like, I can ride you because I'm like squeezing you like a slippery fish.
Do not clip this, you guys. Do not clip us doing these
immediately after. So it's Aira and Momo on Okarun's back, and Ira's like, you're not in charge, and then she grabs her by the waist and like scooches closer to her, and she's like, I am. And I was like, okay.
That's so funny
because I didn't notice that until just now when we were watching it. I was like, they really just like go for it.
Yeah,
every time.
But yeah, and then they are back in the new realm, and they're naked.
They're naked on top
Momo
of each other.
and Okarun are like naked on top of each other, and the things they're saying are like very.
They're like, oh, innuendo-y. God, the hard floor.
Yeah, they're like they're like breathing heavy. They're like the floor. It's so hard.
It's so damning. They're so covered and they're like completely wet.
And I'm just because it's close up on them, and I'm like, no.
No. Yeah, I knew immediately.
And then it goes back, and there's
everyone's staring at them.
Everyone's like, they're naked. They had sex.
God forbid.
God forbid.
At school, though, guys.
Yeah, maybe I will say, public indecency.
Yeah, I will say, okay, fine. There is a line that can be drawn.
I'll allow them to shame them in that scenario.
And the teacher's just like, you guys were bullied into this, right? Right?
And the teacher's freaked out.
Yeah.
She has a whip. But they like are talking to the counselor or something, and she has a whip, and she's like smacking it. She's like, so you guys were bullied, right? Tell me you were bullied. Tell me who did this, and I'll go get them. Like, it's crazy. And then like the janitor comes in and interrupts or something, and she's like, I need to deal with him 1 minute. And like it shows, and they're just like silhouettes in the doorway, and she's like hitting him with it. It's unbelievable. It is so freaked out.
I really appreciate that. That's like how we're. Like, I appreciate that that's a phrase now.
No, like
I like that slang.
I don't actually. Like,
okay.
I've started using it ironically, and then I fear it's like gonna become normal because I cannot believe everybody just started using it like that. Like, freaked out has meant scared forever, for so long, and now we're like, and now it means being freaky.
And do you know where I started using that phrase from? Like, what? Like,
I got it from Love Island.
I got it from Love and Deep Space.
Oh god.
Because here in the Love and Deep Space fandom, we are all freaked out.
Okay.
We're all freaked out.
Okay.
Big topic of conversation.
No, the first time I heard it was Austin from that Love Island episode where he was just being such a pervert.
Freaked out, and I hate him.
So freaked out, it was scary.
I hate him. Like every single challenge, I need him to get away from me.
Yeah, no, he's something.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, and then we have the whole thing with the alien. His son was like gonna die, and he like needs like blood transfusions, and then they discover that his blood is milk.
Oh
and
yeah,
so
this
then
is
they just
where
help him get a cow.
You guys know how like aliens like to take cows?
This is why.
Because they need it for a blood transfusion.
Yeah, it's actually really serious. And they like take care of him, and it's really sweet. And
it is sweet.
That was a cute little. It was just another thing about like humanizing these like bad guys. I loved that aspect of this show.
It was really cute.
And then
new
bombshell.
A new bombshell
has
has
entered the villa.
Our guy, or your guy,
Jiji.
but our guy, Alex Lee, and he's like, yo, Momo, you're still a cutie.
Oh my god.
That's his entrance, and Okarun immediately threatened, scared,
shaking in his boots
because he knows. He's like, he's so athletic, he's tall, he's attractive.
He's got pink hair. It's
he's
cute.
known Momo since children.
Was a child.
He's like, oh god, I can't compete.
Immediately, my poor little boy.
He's devastated.
He's like, oh no. And then he starts thinking, he's like, if they start dating, like, she won't be able to be my friend anymore because she's going to start doing his hobbies, and then she's going to be too busy, and then we won't be able to hang out.
And haven't we all, like, had that fear?
Yeah.
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 But yeah, he's like, so my parents are in the hospital, my house is haunted. Hey, Momo's grandma, can you... And this is so funny. She's always calling him a genius.
Yeah.
Isn't that so funny?
It is funny. Because she doesn't strike me as that.
But I think it's because she realizes that he can also see the ghosts.
Yeah.
And so she just gives him intellectual credit for that, I guess.
I guess.
I don't know. But she clearly likes him. And the grandma's also freaked out. And
the grandma's always trying to check Okarun. I don't know why I just said it like that. Why did I roll my R?
Because, I mean, that's the Japanese.
I know, but like, I just went for it that time.
Okarun.
I went like kind of like Spanish with it. I went like, yeah.
Okay.
Okarun.
That was a little Spanish.
I'm going Spanish with it.
Okay. Maya? No, not Maya.
From Love Island?
Yeah, but that's what I'm thinking. The new bombshell.
Oh, Andrina?
Andrina.
Yeah.
And he's like, she's like, Nicholas.
He's like, I'm Nick. I cannot with him. Guys, I'm sorry. That's like all we can think about is Love Island.
When there's an episode of something every single day,
that's my life.
It's hard to not just think about it constantly. It feels relevant, though.
I know, but if someone's watching this like next year, I'm so sorry if you're not watching this the day it comes out because it's gonna be dated.
Yeah, all our references, everyone's like, who says freaked out anymore?
We are so like of our time. June 2025 is a relic.
We are so chronically online.
Oh god, we are.
Okay.
But yeah, and
so the grandma's like, unfortunately, I cannot take care of that because it's on site, and I am bound to this city. She's literally trapped by city limits.
That's crazy.
It's also important.
Okay. But before they go to his haunted house in the hot spring town, they have their like full school day. And also that first night that he sleeps there at the house,
oh yes,
we get like revealed that he is haunted by like a specific ghost.
Yes, a specific spirit. It's got a creepy twisted face.
And we do find out more about him. Spoiler alert, in season 2. We're going to be coming out with an episode covering the movie and like the first 3 episodes of season 2 soon. So stay tuned
in a couple
on that.
weeks.
Yeah, stay tuned on that, you guys. But then they have their whole school day, and Jiji is like being so crazy.
And I was confused as to why he was enrolling at the school. But he's just staying with them.
I think he's supposed to just stay with them because his parents are in the hospital.
Okay. I was confused because they're going back to his house so soon, and like supposedly the goal is to like have it fixed so he could live there still.
I don't know, like I think that once his parents are out of the hospital, they'll go back and live there. But I think while his parents are in the hospital, he's supposed to live there with them.
Got it.
But yeah, they're at the school, they like enroll him, and they're like, they find out that Jiji and Momo live together.
Oh, and
it's a huge deal, of course.
And this is always a plot in romance anime.
Mm-hmm.
They will just always set it up to where there's 2 characters who live together, and it's like crazy thing.
When he's freaking, like, she's freaking out. She's like, don't say that. And he's like, it's fine, Momo. We're lovers. Unbelievable.
His audacity is crazy.
Okarun is fuming.
Okarun is crashing out.
He is crushing us so bad. Worse than Huda.
How many Love Island references are in this
Can
episode?
we include? Yeah. And then, like, there's even... So then we get into the freaking dummy side plot. The anatomy dummy side plot, which is crazy.
And I was like, we don't need to talk about this because, like, nothing happens.
But it's actually huge.
Actually.
And I can see how, because you haven't watched this in a while.
You watched this morning.
I watched this morning, and I was like, oh my god, this is huge. Because this is when Okarun realizes he loves Momo.
And at the same time, Jiji, his biggest op, is there.
Exactly. And so, like, all of his emotions are just so much stronger. The dummy, like... You guys know the plot, but, like, the dummy just loves, like, the other dummy that's, like, old now, and so they threw her away, but he still loves her. And Okarun is watching, like, the scene of them, they, like, sunset it, like, against that. It's, like, an old romance movie is how they portray it.
There are these two anatomy dummies.
It's so funny. But Okarun watches this, and he's like, oh my god, I love Momo. That's how I feel about her. And it's just like, he realizes.
He figured it out.
But now he's in a love triangle.
Is it a triangle? Is it really a triangle?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, then they get on the train the next day and
Jiji and Okarun are actually bonding over those magazines, and Momo's happy because she hopes that they can be friends and that Okarun can have a guy friend because he doesn't have any friends. And really fast, that is something I appreciate about their relationship, is that someone else had to point out to him that Momo is cute.
Yes.
It didn't even occur to him. He was just so excited to have just a friend.
That's the thing, is that he never even, like, thinks about Momo romantically for, like, a while.
Yeah.
He's just like, she is so special to him because she's his first friend.
Yeah.
And he loves her and cares about her as a friend. This is the like, when guys get mad at being friend zoned and the girl's like, well, I just thought we could be friends. This is the acceptable friends to lovers to not get friend zoned.
And he also, just as a friend, just gets super defensive of her when these other guys are like saying she's easy and stuff, and he goes all spiritual on them.
Oh god, I can't believe we didn't talk about that.
Which was so hot, first of all.
So hot.
Because I love a protective man.
Yep.
But also, it's so funny when you remember no one else can see spiritual ability, so they just see regular Okarun towering over them,
I didn't
like,
even
pulling him down.
That did not occur to me.
Yeah, no one else can see
I was like, well, now these people know he can turn into a spirit.
Nope, they just see him as Okarun literally pulling that guy down to him and putting him on his knees.
As he should.
As he should, exactly.
I wish he would do that to me.
Okay, so now we're in Jiji's town.
And this is where they play with color again.
Everything is gray.
Super desaturated. Even the characters become desaturated as they enter this town.
Jiji's hair is less orangey pink.
And this is an onsen town, you guys, which I'm very familiar with.
Did you guys hear about this?
Not sure if I've mentioned it. I have gone to Japan.
She does have experience.
And we did stay in a onsen hot spring to you, like non-educated. To you laymen, it's hot spring town, but like those of us who are cultured, we call them onsens. But it reminded me so much of Hakone. Like, I was like, I kept waiting for them to be like, it's Hakone. But there's a lot of those, like, Maui hot spring towns. So
they're running through the town, and first of all the people that we see are creepy as hell.
And they're, like, gray.
They're also gray, and they're also making crazy, scary smiley faces.
And I have to say, watching just the movie, I thought that these were like spirits.
So I actually want to talk about that in a second. So they have to climb a fuck ton of stairs up to Jiji's house. Because, guys, this is important. It's on a giant hill.
Yeah, which does become relevant again. Stay tuned for our movie review.
But they get to the house, and they're going through it, room by room, and Momo's seeing if she can see any spirits. Nothing. She's like, anyways, I'm bored. Jiji, go get me a snack.
No, literally.
He's like, yes, ma'am, which I also love. Like, yes, go get her a snack.
She's like, Okarun, sit right next to
right
me.
here. And he's like, okay. He goes to sit down and she's like,
well,
bye.
She gets up. She's
What
like,
if-
I'm out of here.
This girl's game is crazy.
She's crazy.
And we see also watching from the trees is
The creepy
people again. So she is like, we're in a hot spring town. There's nothing to do until nightfall when the ghosts appear. So I'm going to go to a hot spring. You guys hang out. And she's doing that because she wants to give them time to bond. Which,
Boy
in all
time.
fairness, they do.
They do. This is one of my favorite scenes of all time.
Yes, of course. And so she's going to a hot spring.
She's relaxing.
She's chilling. And
chilling out, maxing and relaxing, all cool.
And the boys are playing b-ball out by the school.
So true.
No, they're playing soccer. They're kicking a ball around. Jiji's like teaching them how to kick a ball. Jiji's teaching Okarun how to kick a ball.
Yes, Okarun's bad at it.
He's bad at it, but he's about to kick it. And then Jiji goes, so you're in love with Momo?
You're kidding.
Oh my god.
Okarun freaks out.
He's like, I respect her. I care about her. And he's like, okay, well, I love her.
Literally.
Well, I love her. And he's like, okay, well, I love her, plus I respect her and appreciate her and value her.
And he's like, well, I love her and respect her, and I think she has pretty eyes.
And so they just start fighting over, like,
going
who
back
loves
and
her
forth.
more. And then it turns into a physical altercation.
And then Okarun is like, well, he's like, I have the upper hand. I don't want to say it.
Well, it's because Jiji's like, I'm her childhood friend. I win. And the pose he hits when he goes, I win, is so crazy.
He's so silly. I love it.
Alex Lee's having the best
I love a
time.
goofball.
He's such a goofball. He's like, I'm her childhood friend. I win. And then Okarun remembers when they smacked into each other and kiss. And he goes, I win. And he's like, what? How do you win? What beats childhood friend? He's like, I can't say. And he's like,
crazy.
Crazy. And then that's
using that to win arguments from now on.
I win, but
I can't say.
Try that
against Taylor from now on.
Try that on Taylor and see if that gets you anywhere.
I will. Next argument.
And so they look, and then that's when, they're fucking wrestling around, and that's when Okarun notices that there's an extension on the outside of the house, and it's a room that they didn't see on the inside. And they're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
So they go inside, take a hammer.
It's a hollow wall.
It's a hollow wall. We go to Momo.
We're like cutting back and forth.
We're cutting back and forth. It's very tense. And we're with Momo in the hot spring. She's like, I hope those guys are getting along. Mm-hmm. It's getting really hot. I gotta get out soon.
She's getting dizzy.
She's getting a little dizzy because it's hot. You guys ever take a bath and sit in the hot bath for too long? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but then a bunch of, like, creepy guys.
Gray men
come in. So, about what we said before about how you thought, like, maybe these were ghosts.
Yeah.
So they're coming in. I'm like, these are clearly bad guys.
Yeah.
She's clearly in danger. I look at Malachi and I go, wait, I can't tell. Are these guys aliens or are they ghosts? And he goes, those are just men. And when he said that, I like felt full body chills.
It was way scarier.
It was way fucking
No, it
scarier
was.
Because I was like, wait a fucking second.
Like, for me, this is the scene that should have given the warnings.
Oh.
Not the first episode scene. Like, this creeped me out way more than that. Because real people are scary. And that's also a thing that, like, I appreciate. And I think is really important to know, okay? People did have an issue with this scene also. They're like, why is Momo always getting assaulted? And, like, valid, okay? If that is not, like, the story that you want to view, then I understand. But like, it is a valid story.
It is a valid story because, and here's why. So they're being all creepy, they get in the hot tub, blah, blah, blah. And it is so important that they are just men, but they're drawn the way that they are on purpose. They're drawn to be evil. They're drawn to be scary. You're meant to question, like if they're even actually people, because it, like, the art is showing us that like our only predators are not just aliens
That's
and yokai.
the thing. Like, in this absurd, weird story where there's aliens, there's ghosts, there's all these
there's a Loch Ness monster
things, there are also scary men.
And that is, like, the scariest part of the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
And I once again had to be like, is everything gonna be okay?
Aw. No, show's over. She gets murdered.
She was never gonna get murdered. But...
yeah, and so we're interspersing between these guys, like, creeping on her. They're like, you ever heard of gators? She's like, alligators? And they're like, no, gators that get in the hot spring and creep on young girls. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I thought we were going to be a little more clever than that, but
nope.
We're right to the point here.
They're just doing that, and they're just creepy-ass men.
And then we, like, cut back to Jiji and Okarun, and they're, like, hitting the sledgehammer against the hollow wall, and there's, like, just this room with a bunch of the... papers. What are those called?
They are, like, prayers from shrines.
Shrine papers.
To, like, exorcise the spirits in the house from all the previous mediums. Because Jiji has tried hiring a bunch of mediums, and a bunch of people have tried to, like, just, like, get rid of the evil in this house. And that's where it ends.
Yeah, and she, like, the guys start to attack her, and they, like, look through the hole where they, like, see all the papers, and that's where it ends. And it's so funny because I watched this episode earlier, and I remember Taylor watching this a few weeks ago after you had showed it to us, and I remember him on that episode being like, no way that's where it ends. And then now watching it, I have the benefit of knowing what's going to happen because we've seen it. But I'm like, that would suck really bad.
It did suck because I was like, oh man. I was like, is that it? And Malachi goes, no, that's a weird place to end the season.
That was a bold place to end it.
Yeah, and I have thoughts about that when we talk next time about the movie. But yeah, that's where it ended, and a lot of people were like, I will not be watching the rest of the show because they don't like that last scene that it ended on.
Jeez Louise.
And you know,
if you don't like a show, don't watch it. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's okay. But again, you could call this like gratuitous, like nudity or like fan. But it doesn't feel like fan service.
It doesn't.
And the thing is, like, the, like, SA that's happening, it's not, like, meaningless SA, like in fucking SAO. I can't, like, I understand, like, obviously she ends up being okay, too, but that, like, goes on for so long, and there was, like, no reason to do that. Like, they were already losing. It was just there to hurt you, basically.
Well, and it's like just such different circumstances of like, you know, Mao Mao is this boss babe that's gonna be able to like get through these situations.
You mean Momo?
I said Mao Mao.
You said Mao
That's
Mao.
hilarious. Too much Apothecary Diaries.
I miss you, Mao Mao.
Make sure you guys tune in next week for another Apothecary Diaries recap.
Or only 2 more of those left.
I'm sad.
But yeah, you know Momo's a boss babe. You know she has powers.
You know she'll be able to like help herself out of these situations, and so it's a different situation than it could be, and it's kind of satisfying because of that. It's like she is kind of like taking back this like sexuality, which is really cool to see. Yeah,
and like that's the thing. The show isn't like doing this to like, it's not sexy. It's not like fan servicey. It's oh my god, I just had it in my brain. Like, it's being treated, like, they're being treated just the same as, like, scary villains as everything else. And it's an important part of this story.
It is.
It's not here for shock factor.
It really does, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just giving way too much, like, credit to this, but to me, it felt like a pretty good like interpretation of like the female coming of age experience.
That's also true because when you're a young girl, I'm sorry, like I was sexualized way more as a kid than I am as a woman. I hate to say it. And that is like so scary and like devastating. So yeah, and like far be it for me to like overhype or overpraise something that a man wrote or made.
Is this confirmed that a man has written this? So I'm like, we're actually like so dumb if we've just been saying it's by a man.
I'm pretty sure.
And the two like people that we saw, like the director's commentary were both men, so like I just kind of assumed, I guess.
Okay, that looks like yes, that is a man.
That looks like a man.
Yes. So like, far be it. Yeah, like you will never catch me like giving undeserving praise to something that a man makes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean that. I feel like I can say that.
10 toes down.
Yeah. But this I feel like deserves the praise.
That's the thing, is it's like, oh, a man wrote a female experience like pretty well. That's awesome.
And also they keep the like nudity pretty equal.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Like
is
they're
that
both being taken advantage of.
it doesn't feel like we're looking, like, it feels like nudity is just like kind of this like, it's a kind of silly plot device, and it's also like part of that coming of age plot device that's used for both of them, like not just her.
Yeah, it's not just her, it's both of them. And then like low-key, like a spoiler, but like Jiji and Okarun end up naked too.
Yeah. We have a lot like coming up.
We have a lot.
It's actually like, I'm shocked that that's actually where it ended.
Yeah.
Because they showed that part, and then going into like, I guess something to look forward to, you guys. The season 2 does start like right where it left off.
Yes. Yes.
So you're not like, we're not flashing forward or anything. So it's pretty continuous. I didn't even realize that that's where it would end based on what they showed us in the theater. And we've got some really fun stuff coming up with that. Like,
yeah.
We get some serious character development with Jiji.
Yes.
Serious character development there. We just get more like badass Momo moments, and Okarun, Momo like bonding, and just more of their powers, and
like the
more
show,
of these bad guys.
The show really has everything. It has mystery, it has magic, it has like the occult, it has sci-fi, it has incredible action and fighting scenes. We haven't even touched the music, and we don't have time.
We do
for
not
that.
have time to touch the music, you guys.
But like you can, there's a million creators talking about how good the music is in the show, and it's so good. Creepy Nuts, we love you. What a crazy name.
And we hope that he does the
season 2 opening.
Yes.
Yeah, we're praying for
this.
That.
This first season opening is so iconic.
It will be forever.
Do you know why it's called DanDaDan?
Because of the song.
No,
I don't. Do you?
Yeah, I looked it up.
Because I tried to figure it out and I couldn't figure it out.
I looked it up. So Dan is it means like story. It's in Japanese, but it's specifically story that would be in like scary story, like that type of used, and so it's just like kind of a play on that, like DanDaDan, like it's a story of like these spiritual things.
Oh, okay.
It's like just
it's kind of
silly and fun. I love that.
So it's like kind of like stuttering.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
that's cool.
I know. It's just like I love the name of it. I love. You're welcome.
Oh yeah, and again, the animation spectacular. Character
so
design,
good, you guys.
like 11 out of 10. Like
if we didn't say that enough this episode.
Yes.
I can't even get into this, but the outfits.
The
so
outfits,
good.
You were like, I need all of Momo's outfits.
Literally.
So
I have been specifically trying to find the, like, she wears like a white with red trim, like kind of varsity like sweater dress. I want that so bad.
Yeah. Like it says a lot about its creation and how it handles like a woman's style and like all the female characters and stuff, that we did in fact have to look up if the author is a man or a woman. That is not something we can determine by watching it, and I feel like you usually can.
No, exactly. The outfits he gave her, I cannot believe that would be written by a man.
So yeah, we love DanDaDan. I can understand some of the criticism of it, but I do feel like I don't think it's fan service. I don't think it's gratuitous. If you don't want to watch a child go through their sexual awakening, then this isn't the show for you. But I just hope you're keeping that same energy for every show that is about a teenager experiencing their sexual awakening.
Exactly.
Like, don't be targeting this show or saying it's especially bad, because the show is actually like a masterpiece.
It's such a masterpiece. It is really fun. It's really good. It just felt really fresh for me, and I feel like I don't know, maybe not. I was gonna say maybe this would be a good one for people who haven't watched anime yet, but it is maybe not.
I don't
maybe
know.
not.
No. You gotta watch something
Maybe
else
not.
first.
But it is so good.
And yeah, so clearly we love it. Just look at the runtime of this episode
God, you
compared
guys.
to all of our other episodes.
I cannot wait to edit this.
Thank you. Everyone say thank you, Becca.
Thank you, Becca.
We will see you next week for another Apothecary Diaries episode.
Will we see them this Wednesday?
Yes. Yes, we will also see you this Wednesday. If you're watching this, today's when this comes out, it's Monday. Yep. You will see us also in 2 more days on Wednesday with our special June episode.
Yep.
For Pride Month.
Mm-hmm.
And our subject for that episode is our top 10 non-canon queer ships in anime.
Obsessed. That was such a fun one to film.
It was very fun. It was very reminiscent of our top 10 anime boyfriends episode.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be out this Wednesday. Happy Pride, guys.
Happy Pride, guys.
And make sure you follow us on social media at Anime for Blondes Pod on TikTok and Instagram.
And make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And make sure that you comment, leave a review, whatever you can do on whichever platform. It just helps us so that we can keep making stuff for you every week.
And remember, tell us, did you also have an obsession with Nessie?
Please, we need to know in the comments below.
For science. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Anime for Blondes.